I want to start first here with this crazy trial. It's going on in New York as we speak again today. Don Jr. is testifying again. And Letitia James, who you know is the AG there in New York City, is really determined, right? She has been from the beginning. I've played you all the clips of her saying she was going to go and get Trump, and that's why it was really important that she get elected, because she had to get him, right? So now she's starting to follow through on those campaign promises, and it's become quite contentious. You see, there's one judge in the case. They've tried to get it recused. It's not working, of course. The judge is like, nope, you're here. I think it's going to have to go to a much higher level court. But now there's talk of a mistrial. Before we get to those comments, first, listen to Donald Trump, why he thinks this is so bad for New Yorkers and why taxpayers are kind of being defrauded here with this sham trial, if you would. Take a peek.
This is an Attorney General, Letitia, that went out and campaigned on, I will get Trump. I will get Trump no matter what. I'll get Trump. I promise I'll get him. We have 2 tapes on her now that have come out since the trial because people took tapes of her because they couldn't believe her ranting and raving like a lunatic. But just as the Attorney General of New York State, Letitia James, and she shouldn't be allowed to be Attorney General. She's defrauded the public with this trial. She said that Mar-a-Lago, she convinced the judge at Mar-a-Lago, which worth in Palm Beach, Florida, the most expensive land in the world, I guess, that, and the most expensive houses definitely in the world, at Mar-a-Lago, the biggest house, the most spectacular place in all of Florida, was worth $18 million when it's worth approximately, could be close to 100 times that amount. And based on that testimony and based on her convincing the judge at Mar-a-Lago was worth $18 million instead of $1 billion to $1.5 billion, which would sell very easily, which we've already proven, but we'll have people come up and say that and prove it, the most important people, the brokers that make the sales. But based on that, he ruled against me. He ruled fraud. I mean, he said fraud. They are the fraudulent people because they ruled a house that was worth 18. They put down as worth 18 million, and it's worth maybe close to 100 times that amount.
Well, I don't know about that. We can talk about that, the valuation, which is definitely going to come up in this trial in just a moment. But first, here is the attorney for Donald Trump, who's clearly very frustrated. She's on Fox over the weekend, and she's speaking with Maria Bartiromo, my former colleague over there, and she's saying, look, I can't say a lot, right? Because there's this gag order. So Letitia James can go out and say everything she wants, but no, the attorney for Donald Trump can actually say the things that she believes is necessary to protect her client. This is one of the reasons she said she's going to be filing for this mistrial. Listen to Alina Habba right here.
Right now, in this Sunday Morning Futures exclusive, is President Trump's attorney, Alina Habba. Alina, thanks very much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
So we just heard from the AG, Letitia James, talking about this trial. Mm-hmm. She comes out and talks a lot, but President Trump is not allowed to say anything.
Yeah, we have a gag order currently against certain issues that we can't speak to, and we've seen this on many cases of his. You know, Jack Smith has moved for the same thing. And it's really, you know, it's a First Amendment right. He's also a leading candidate. He has a right to speak. He should speak about anybody and anything that he sees that's corrupt. But we do, even I, have a limited gag order.
You have been complaining about the judge's clerk, and you say that the judge is compromised and the clerk appears compromised. Tell me why.
Well, I actually can't tell you why because I'm gagged.
Right.
I can tell you that, you know, we'll be filing papers to address all of those issues. And the fact that, frankly, Maria, I can't even discuss it with you, and I'm his spokeswoman, I'm his attorney, says a lot about what the judicial system, the state of our judicial system right now.
Wow. No, I mean, she's making a very good point there. It does say a lot, right, about the state of the judicial system. In other words, what is this gag order? I've spoken with Alan Dershowitz here on the show about this, the attorney, of course, very liberal guy, typically. I mean, except that he is out there trying to protect the law. When I say liberal, he's voted, as he says, Democrat his entire life. And yet he keeps saying, look, they're going too far in this. And in this particular case, they kind of seem like they are, right? They're using taxpayer dollars from New Yorkers to go after Donald Trump. I mean, I guess there's a lot of New Yorkers that probably want that to happen, but nonetheless, it's really not very good precedent here now, is it? It's not good precedent to be using taxpayer dollars for politically motivated purposes. I mean, then you start to feel, I don't know, a little like a Marxist, communist, authoritarian kind of place. But this is what they're doing, because when you look at this case, I mean, this is, to me, like, there's a whole bunch of cases out there, right? But I'm just most amazed by this, perhaps just given my business background. This is a civil fraud case. What's crazy here, though, is that there's no damages whatsoever.